Hey y'all, sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the intro twice, but always good to see stuff coming on. Hey everybody, got a good batch of people in here today. We've got Soundwave and Fireclaw, we've got Spin, we've got Acid Storm, we've got Roy Gamer, we've got Matt. Some people know him as Smokescreen. We've got Joe Ben Smith. We've got Winds of the Pit. Let's see. We got a good turnout today. We got Patrick Bateman, aka Megatron. We've got We Are the Ones. We've got Blade 19. We've got Twilight Tier, who's not going to take over the strategies today. Uh, well, he might, but I'm gonna keep it open to everybody like I always do. And we've got the misses on here too, so good to see everybody. Um, yeah, I'm gonna start off with, in case you guys hadn't noticed, there's a little tweak and a little adjustment to the aesthetic on my channel. You know, I saw that Waza was making updates and Freezius was making updates, and I was just like, yeah, I gotta up my game a little bit. So in proverbial CFTactics fashion, I had to up the ante and probably did it a little bit more than I should have, but I like the look. Updated my icon. I've gotten a lot of updates or congratulations and compliments on that. So, guys, welcome and let's hit some announcements, shall we? Okay, so something is coming. The studio, the guys at the studio are trying to get the official content creators, myself, Freezius, Waza, and Soul, involved in something. They're gonna spread it out across all four of us. We have no idea what it is yet. Don't know if it's going to be involved with their Twitch stream or what the new features are going to involve. But one thing we do know is that they're going to split it across all four of us. So you're going to have to watch all four of us to see what the new thing is going on. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. In case you guys hadn't noticed, got a big branding update going on. Updated my profile. Did a nice new banner for the YouTube channel. Obviously got a nice new border and layout going on for my streams and my videos. So if you guys haven't seen that, my most recent videos got the new look to it as well. After long ado and a long fight from you guys, which really wasn't a fight. You guys just kept saying, "Hey, man, you need to start up your own channel's Discord server." I finally did it. The link is up pinned to the live chat as well as in the description for those that are watching afterwards. So yeah, we've got all kinds of good stuff on here. We are the ones currently spamming some gifts, not a big deal. But we've broken it down. It's not quite like other content creators' channels. I got some of the static data sheets that I've built and posted elsewhere, like on the TFEW server and stuff. I've got those in here. And then I've got a beautiful little organized catalog of all my videos. They're all links to the videos. And you'll see that the new one will come up here when we're done. So that you guys can just go through and if there's something that you're looking for, you can click on a category and find the video, go and watch it. So I've been trying to keep it well organized. Got a lot of great feedback from a lot of you guys yesterday about it, about how to organize it, how to set it up and all that stuff. Got one of our favorite little areas. We've got the fake ad section, which I know Fire, Soundwave, and Megatron, they both love the fake ads, and I know a lot of you guys do too, and just so that you know, that's those ads that are here scrolling across. There are a couple of legitimate ones, like the Support Your Content Creators one that's up now, but we've got other ones that are going in there as well through rotation. So, you know, we kind of keep it fun and lively. I try to add a new one or a couple of new ones every week. Keep you eagle-eyed guys challenged and enjoying some of them. So yeah, we've got that. That's kind of. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Also hit how I don't know how I almost forgot this, but I also uh, capped out at 700 subscribers this week. Currently at 707. So yeah, I did a little announcement short about that on Wednesday or Thursday, I think, one of the two. So yeah, that's big for me. I mean, considering that I don't show anybody else's content other than Earth Wars and my own videos and stuff. I think that's a big step for me. So yeah, 700 viewers and stuff. That's huge for me. And yeah, let's see what else do we got going on here. Went over the Discord server. Yeah, so we're caught up at this week. We I Me and the other content creators will keep you posted on what's going on with whatever this big surprises the studio's going to be throwing our way. This is going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting to know what it is. Because honestly, I've got no idea right now. I don't think Waza or Fresius have an idea, or even Solja have an idea of what's going on at the moment. So, um, yeah, that's going to be cool and interesting. Hope you guys are liking the new video layout. Or the new stream and video layouts, I should say, because been investing a little bit of time in it and my graphics and stuff like that, trying to get stuff going and making things look nice and work well. And overall, like I said, just trying to refine the channel, make it look a little better, a little nicer, a little cleaner. And I noticed that my playtest screen is still a little off, but I'll make some adjustments to that later on. But yeah, so got the whole. I think I've got the aesthetic down. It's going to stay this way for a bit. I'm really enjoying it myself personally. And for all of those that aren't on my new Discord server yet, like I said, I've pinned the URL and link over in the chat. Um, Thanks, Blade 19. I appreciate that top quality. Yeah, I I just like to have some nice visuals and such. And not only does this fit my channel, it fits me too. Purple is one of my favorite colors, and I've been a card carrying member of the Decepticons since '84. So yeah, it's just me. So thanks, Blade. Appreciate that. Um, well, as you know, this is a solo event, and they're all going for 5-star C Clamp or Beast Wars Ironhide. Big reason why a lot of people are going for him. He's a combiner piece. He's part of Magnaboss and Tripredicus, and so that's two pieces of the 5-star for Tripredicus, and they are going to be rolling out all of the combiners. I'm not sure if they're going to complete it this year or not, but they are going to be rolling out all of the combiners into a 5-star eventually. Obviously, a lot of you guys know that Skyrain is going to be dropped in games soon. When, we don't know, because I believe he's got all of his pieces now. So that'll be good that way. And I know that we're talking about a Bruticus and Optimus Maximus rework for the 5-star and a couple other bots going on right now in playtest. So I know that they're in the queue to be worked on. And yeah, so I'll just dive into a little bit, and you guys continue, chatting away as you guys always do, and we'll work out some strategies. Oh, I also posted part 2 of my pathing and targeting videos. I did the Titans and the Combiners one, and I may go over some of that as well. Of course, if you guys want to know more, I do have the video up there, and I can always we can always go over things in here too. It's not just whatever I do on the video stream is that's what we're going to be working with. No, no. I mean, we're dynamic that way, though, which is kind of nice. So yeah, so C Clamp and Beast Wars Ironhide, two very very well beloved warriors, been used a lot, and as you can see, mine's kind of low level. I just got him up to level 11. um, I've been playing with him a little bit, and I love the 4-star. He's one of the warriors I will use constantly. um, so he's one of the fun ones that I enjoy. I love his splash because it's got the damage, it's got the health gain, it's got the damage reduction. Um, you know, and he likes to crunch walls too, which is awesome. And of course, he taunts. So we can go ahead and I'll show a couple of fun aspects on him, and I'll go attack somebody random here on playtest just to see what we can do. And as you can see, Twilight Tears abomination of an all medic team was still up there. I still am flabbergasted that all worked last week. I really am. That just that blew me away. It should not have worked. And you know what? Since we're celebrating Beast Wars, we're gonna probably go all Predacons, both G1 and the new, the Beast Wars era ones. I know I've got them in here. Yeah, there we go. Got antagonist. So we're gonna do some fun implementations here. Show them off, and of course, guys, as always, you know, add up some squads. We'll test them out. And yeah, I'm gonna add my good buddy Scourge. I love that guy. So, um, yep, Zone 15, because we don't do anything that the game suggests on this channel. uh, all right. Ooh, this could be a good one or a bad one, but considering that my C clamp is really low, I'm not anticipating him lasting long. So I'm going to be working on getting him in the field as quickly as possible. And there it goes. So he's a good little rush warrior. He really is. A lot of people don't give him that much credit. I gotta give him that credit. He's a vicious little rush warrior, and actually, considering that he's a low level 5-star, level 11 right now, he's actually holding up pretty good in this kind of a base. So with all this damage coming at him, he's holding up pretty well on his own. But of course, I got him in an outpost bot snafu, so that's not going to work out too well. But hey, that's virtually a fresh little bot that came in and got them all going. And using one of my other favorites, Black Arachnia, a lot of people will just grr against the team. And let's see what we got. Can't see my team. Okay, I'll bring it back up so that you can see it's been after this battle. And you're right. The team didn't change. The team window didn't change at all. Dang. It just hung there. I see it just hanging there. What the heck? Let's refresh you. Okay, now you're up. Sorry guys, I went right on without even letting you guys know, but well, we'll do this team again. You know, give you guys a good go, and we'll do it at zone 7, zone 15, just like we did just like I did the last one. So yay, went on for 2 minutes and nobody knew what I was talking about. Isn't that always fun? Okay, so yeah, here's my C clamp, pretty fresh. He just got leveled up in that last battle, as you saw. Um, he was 11 when we started. He's now at 19, so he'll probably go to 20 at this point. And then I've got Black Arachnia. She's one of my favorites of all times. Does a lot of good damage. And this is how I build her out. I build her out with the Amalgamous Core, so because I'll keep her in her alt form and just help clear out bases. I know that a lot of people, grumble and say that they're not good anymore. With the right build, Cheetor and Black Arachnia can still be a base clearer. And let's see who else came in. Got Dr. Claw. Got Freezius, brother from another Matrix over there. He's good to see you, bro. And you too, Dr. Claw. I wasn't like turning him away. And again, guys, thanks for looking over the chat and showing me that it wasn't updating. So I'm sorry about that. Wouldn't be a CFTactics stream if there wasn't one technical difficulty at least. So, ooh, and the Omega swipe is kind of low. We'll get this amped up because the antagonist kind of died, and I was wondering why, and now I realize she's not. Her ability's not really working all that well. Now, guys, that's a cool thing I should also tell you about is that even though you upgrade one ability on bots that have two abilities, the upgrade applies to both. So, just thought I know that's probably like a given, but you know, not everybody uh, will make that assumption, and it's a safe one to do. I would not make that assumption myself, but let's get her up to 11 because we like cranking everything up to 11. Okay, and then we've got Waspinator. Like I said, we're pretty much going with the wow. He's low too, and he survived a long time. I'm really surprised about that. But we did that in zone 15 on playtest, so we'll see if we can't get a similar base to that and see what we can get going on for that. And yeah, guys, I'm just spending cyber coins out of the yin yang. It's my playtest account, so I've got I've got cyber coins to spare. So it's not like I'm spending gargantuan amounts of money, and I know that the missus would not let me have like 30 million cyber coins without her at least getting half of that, if not more, because she needs them just as bad as I do. But um, and I think my scourge is already maxed and everything, so yeah, he's all good. But yeah, so let me go back into battle there because I can see that it's working again. We got it updated. And like I said, we're gonna do zone 15. And okay, we got a slightly different base layout, but also somewhat similar this way. So yeah, let me show you guys what I mean by C Clamp being a great rush warrior. He'll come in, and if you've got an airbot that does fire, and I just launched Waspinator there, but for his cryo as well, but bringing Scourge in for his fire damage, taking him out, and I'll bring in my Black Arachnia here with my build. She'll last forever. She's virtually impervious, and as long as I keep her in beast mode and there's stuff to destroy. And yeah, but I mean, look, this is a level 19 5-star, and he's able to just move through the base. He's still fairly fresh. I don't have anything really super on him, and he's still able to hold his own. So this is a nice, great little rush warrior. Plus his acid and that splash Works really well. Maybe we'll come in here with some antagonist swipe and get some people going. But yeah, as you guys can see, I don't know why people hate on Cheetor and Black Arachnia when she can come in. And like I said, with a different build, man, she can come in and take people out. Look, took out that 5-star blaster like it was nothing. And now she's moving up to everything and just taking everything. I bet you she'll have the base down if I did it again. But yeah, no, overall, he's a great warrior bot. C Clamp and Beast Wars Ironhide. A lot of people like him. I'm a big fan of him too. I like a lot of the Beast Wars characters. So I mean, I grew up watching them in the '90s, late '90s. I was kind of a teenager slash adult at the same time, so I wasn't willing to give up on my Transformers just yet. Although G2 really sucked. But and why am I just scrolling when I can do it by needs research? And we'll throw him in, and we'll throw Waspy in, get those two upgraded. And like I said, since I've got coins to burn and coins to spend, we'll just grab them out there. And I'm gonna take a quick see look over at the chat and see what's going on, who's here. Yep, the wife totally agrees. Got to have both. Both of us is, we're a partnership. We're equals. We got to make sure that what one has, the other has. It's not so much keeping up with the Joneses, it's keeping up with the wife and making sure that we're not overspending or anything. Love her dearly, and I'm glad that she came to join me on Earth Wars. She's been really supportive about, being having me become a content creator and doing videos and now the streams and stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And then let's see, we've got Tyler Flippo. He came on. How you doing, sir? And hey, Reshi Mine made it. Nice to see you, Reshi. Good to see you coming on the stream for a change. Yeah, Phoenix. I try to do my best not be on the Mrs. Bad side at all, but try to keep things lively in our relationship, all the good stuff. We've been together just about as long as the PPX family have been, so about 10 years or so. Yeah, I am glad that I have to agree with Blade 19 here. I am glad that they did finally give Waspinator a little speed, increased his speed to match that with Tiger Hawk, So that was good to have. And yes, Dr. Claw, happy wife, happy life. Definitely. She can't quite squash my base yet, but I have given her tips on how to do so. So it's not like she can't. I don't know if she won't yet, but she could do it if she really wanted to and put the effort into it. And yeah, Phoenix, I do agree. Black Arachnia and Tarantulas are great bots to use. A lot of people really undermine them ever since they got that nerf back, during the whole buff Cheetor nerf Black Arachnia controversy back in like 18 or whenever they came out, And then all the Autobots got really upset when they realized that buffing or nerfing Black Arachnia nerfed Cheetor too. So yeah, you can't have one without the other. And Patrick Megatron, he says, great strat would be to also pop the outposts with Dinobot. Yes, you could. Yeah, keeping the Beast Wars theme intact, definitely. And then send in C Clamp. Well, I'm gonna get him boosted up, but that's also kind of a Waza strategy. It's not a bad one. It's a really good one. Doing the smash damage along with the class gas, making everything brittle, definitely works that way. I think I saw that on Wazas on Thursday. And yeah, well, Reshi, I'm glad. Yeah, the time shift for everybody, I think has been it's been better for me to get better organized in my streams, in my videos in general, but in my streams, and it has let a lot of people return and come on. So I think it's great. So thank you. And yeah, Sound Blast. Yeah, with the right build, any bot can be great. And I mean, even without some great, even without the right build, some bots can still be good and workable. Um, a lot of people just don't want to invest in something that they don't think is a good bot anymore. And again, a good bot is subjective. It depends on the strategies. It depends on whether you're playing meta or not. And I know that there's a couple of us in here that laugh at the meta, but because we're like, yeah, yeah, you keep doing what everybody else does, and we'll keep plowing right through you. So what's a good setup for how? Yeah, Dragstrip is a fun bot, and that's Dragstrip. Let me share some because I've got a couple here, and I think I've got the 5-star. I should have the 5-star anyway. That's a good question. What is a good setup for Dragstrip and how? Let me go find them. I think I have their 5-star. Yeah, right there. Well, right now, as you can see, I don't have anything set up for them. So, I mean, I would obviously choose their power core. I think, oh, I don't have any power cores on here for them. I don't think. Maybe under gold. We'll see. Oh, all this scrolling. Yeah, no, I don't have too many power cores because I cleaned out my playtest. I asked them to, so that is kind of on me. I was just like, I'm tired of scrolling. I want something good. I want to be able to navigate my playtest a little easier. But you know what? I'll throw a Golden Lagoon on him for right now. We'll see how that works. That ought to be interesting because I don't generally take on the ooh, Vertebrake should be good for him too. Vertebrake is man, why is it that every time I come up with a work with somebody, I come up blank on it. But yeah, Vertebrake is crap. My brain is really like not working right now. Vertebrake. Let me see. Vertebrake is. Yeah, I probably spelled it wrong. Huh. Yeah, I can't find them right now. But yeah, let's go play with this because one of the things like Rushy was saying, what's a good setup for them? One of the funny, odd little idiosyncrasies of Hound and Dragstrip is that they're a little squishy. They're a little soft. Being a gunner, you would think that they'd be able to take a hit or two a little bit harder, but they really don't. And it's like, why? Why can't they? But now that I've got a Golden Lagoon on him, maybe he'll be able to take a hit or two. So let's see. And I know that a lot of people have been reporting, that their special ability goes off in a way, and I can see how people would claim that to be a bug, but it really isn't. It's how they path and how they target, and I mean, if it is a genuine bug about it, then I haven't heard anything back from the studio guys who say that I'm right or they're wrong or anything like that. But I mean, if you guys have watched my pathing and targeting videos, you'd understand exactly how and why their abilities are doing what they're doing. You know, it's because of how they target. Yeah, they'll accept the first one and then they change and move. They retarget. That's what they're supposed to do. And I just don't think a lot of people are grasping that they do retarget. You know, and that's the thing that kind of gets me. And how, hey, this Golden Lagoon has really been helping Dragstrip survive a bit, so that's good. He's not doing too much damage, but I know that he's low level right now. So, um, yeah, it does give him fire, and like I said, mine's still pretty low level. I haven't really tweaked him out yet. You know, uh, so yeah, he can work out pretty well in that way. Let's see, he's a good walk bot from Megatron. Who has enough damage? Yeah, he does. He can take out resource buildings, as you saw. He really cleared up the front and sides of that base. He was actually doing pretty good, even at the lower level that he was at. You know, the only thing I did was put the Golden Lagoon on him so that he could have some little survivability and get him going. And what level was he? He was kind of low. So that was he was 11 to 20. So I mean, he held up pretty good in that. Can't complain. That was a pretty good run for him. And what's a good combat bot? A good combat, in my opinion, is one that really accentuates the abilities and damage of that bot. A lot of people are like, "Oh, hey, any bot, any combat that can hack or enhance elemental damage," and I do agree with those as well. But I would honestly say look at what the bot does, how the bot functions, and then try to pick a combat that helps elevate those abilities and that work. I mean, unless the combat has a specific bot named within their description, like Tiger Chest or Kunai or anybody like that, um, I would say anybody that works in that for that bot would be a great fit. As long as it enhances that bot well. Some a lot of people say Fracas and Nightstick are their number one choice. Great. I am not overtly impressed with Fracas and Nightstick, and I think people like it because of his life steal and his little bit of healing that he does. That's great, but if I apply him to an air class bot, he changes their behavior to make them act like a gunner, and I don't want my air class working like a gunner. Um, Again, you those are some things that you've got to look out for of you know how do they interact with the bot. Like I've got Fracas on my onslaught, which gives me, in my opinion, the onslaught that we've been needing since he came into the game. you know he does some hard stuff. Onslaught's default damage is fire, so Fracas's acid works with that elemental combo. So I'm not uh, ashamed to say I put him on a gunner. He doesn't have to be on a top level bot to be a top level combat, and um, you know, some people are probably cringing at me right now, and that's fine. You're allowed to. This is just my opinion. I can't say whether uh, whether this bot works for anybody else. You know, everybody has their own different play style. And Cheeto showed up. Thank goodness. I was wondering if he was going to sleep in today. uh, yeah, exactly, Freeze. You know, so thanks for backing that up, bro. Yeah, you know, you want a combat that enhances what the bot does, or at least, like I said, will work well within that bot. You know, I here on my playtest account, I put tip top on my Scourge because I like it when my Scourge can hack. That's just bloody brilliant. People don't realize that an airbot can hack aside from Dirge, you know. So it really throws them a loop when they see my Scourge hacking the guy and doing, you know, 10 11K damage and wondering why their bots are falling with a you know, an 8 to 9 year old bot on my team. So, but like I said, that's one of those little chuckles I give to the meta players. You know, it's just like, yeah, you keep playing your way, I'll play mine, and we'll keep dousing you guys in gasoline. So it's kind of fun that way. And Cheeto uses Tiger Chist on everything but Death Solaris. Well, that's because Death Solaris is kind of passe. He's expensive too. You know, I'm not gonna lie. His ability is seriously mad expensive, and could probably use a cost reduction to make him a little bit more feasible to use. But I can appreciate that. And let's see, some more haze. Cool. Um, and yeah, more Cheeto. He uses a minion on Onslaught because he already fires as a gunner. Yeah. Well, I let me show you that. Let me show you my nightstick on Onslaught because people look at me and they just are like, really, you don't really know what you're talking about, do you? And I was like, actually, I'd like to think I do. I mean, I do take people's opinions into account, but it doesn't always change what I'm gonna do. Because I honestly I like them on I like my nights my fracas on onslaught. Where did he go? I'm gonna have to. Oh wait, I can just go by gunner. Yeah, before anybody else said it. Sort by class. Yeah. Already did it. Did I not have the 5 star on up here? No, I guess not. Maybe they moved him to special because I'm not seeing them in here. Oh, there he is. But yeah, this is my onslaught. He's one of my favorite legacy bots to use too. I'm not gonna lie. He's one of my favorite legacies to use. Um, because people laugh. They're like, "Oh man, this guy's got onslaught. This is going to be an easy battle," and then they watch as my onslaught just keeps walking and keeps living and just hurts their base a little bit. And let's see. No. Zone. We're gonna go zone 14 at least for this one. I know it's 3 bots. They're probably gonna drop, but it kind of. I just want to show off a little bit that you know that not the not everything is the latest greatest. You know, some of the old bots still have a main purpose. You know, a lot of people laugh about Windblade and Dive Bomb too. They're just like, oh, their strategies don't work anymore, and it's like, well, how are you using them? Because you're probably not using them in a way that benefits them. You know, I use them like a bishop in chess. I move them across the board, either go out and clear or severely weaken a number of defenses just so that I can get them to move and get the board cleared up a little bit, clean up my pathing, clean up some of my targeting over here. And I mean, my dive bomb has made it through the majority of the height and width of the base. So I mean, they're not that they're not that bad a bot. You know, I mean, my wind blades up there, my onslaught and stuff are still down here with my fracas and my sound wave, but they got caught up with two outpost bots, and yeah, I mean, look, my onslaught's still almost fully intact. That's because of the healing fracas gave him. But I mean, he's just churning away. Meanwhile, there's my dive bomb up there, you know, living her best life up there, just cracking out on an HQ. But there's the fire, there's the acid, cleaning up resources. And he's a good bot overall, and so is dive bomb. I mean, I don't get why people really like to slam on them. I don't think people know how to use these legacy bots. They're just like, oh, I never liked this bot, so it's not a good bot for me. Okay, cool. It's not a good bot for you. It's a good bot for a lot of us, So yeah. Let's see. I gotta scroll up the chat a little bit. Yeah, I can understand that too. From Fresius, looking at that, the only combat that he feels must put on a gunner is Fireline Top Shot. I actually put Fireline on my airbots. I think I've got him on either Mind Wipe or um, wait, I may actually have Singe on my Mind Wipe, but yeah, he's still a good. These are still good combat bots, but you do want them to emphasize and enhance what people do. Let's see. Megatron says C Clamp should have gotten cost reduction too. Yeah, he could have, but he wouldn't be as good as a bot because the team somewhere would have made a change to justify that cost change or that cost reduction. You know, they do kind of like to do that. Either range or damage or something would have suffered from that cost reduction. He is a little bit of an expensive bot to use, but he's still a good bot overall. And then Dr. Claw says, I try to put Tip Top on Acid Storm. Okay, so you like to use Tip Top's heal and hack with an acid bot. Nice. Yeah, that's not a bad route to go. That's an interesting route to go. Really, that really is. I can see how that's effective. Um, Phoenix, if you're not hearing sound, I'm sorry. I think I still have everything on. Uh, and let's see. Megatron's coming up and saying, especially when Pipes also spreads an element, although in a line and not in a circular area. Yeah, I can see where you're going with the comparison there with the Pipes Headstrong versus the Beast Wars Ironhide and C Clamp, but I like Beast Wars splashes better than I do Headstrong's inline as it clings off of them. That kind of has a minor AOE on it, in my opinion, and that's where I kind of see him being a little bit better. And let's see. Uh, yeah, see, Fireclaw Soundwave. He says, yeah, Dive Bomb is great. Yeah, Dive Bomb can be great. I mean, some builds they won't have Dive Bomb last too long, but it will. He can work. Um, so yeah, and did carry the earlier part of the game so hard, and I still use them. I still use a Megatron and stuff. So I mean, Dive Bomb's a great bot. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, that's a sack bot." Yeah, they can be a sack bot. A lot of people are I think are forgetting that sack means sacrifice, not as in like a blitz, not SACK. Uh, and uh, Yeah, they can be a sacrifice bot, especially when they're used in a way that's unconventional. But because honestly, in my opinion, Dive Bomb and Windblade are not sack bots. They're blitz bots. You know, you go in, you clear out a small area, you move on to the next area to help your team clear out the base and do some pathing and retargeting there. You know, you don't use them to attack outposts or anything of that sort. Let's see. Now that is where I will agree with you, Cheeto. Dive Bomb can be squishy. You know, um, but again, that depends on the build. They can be very, very squishy, and it can be dependent upon how they're being used too. So I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm not going to completely agree with you either. You know, I'm right down the middle on that one. Yes, they can be, but if you fortify them, then their squishiness kind of goes away. Let's see. And then Freesius. Folks started hating on Fireline after the nerf years ago, but that's still a lot of AoE. Yeah, it is. It is. Plus acid and fire. And then yeah, you add in some cosmic rust there. That's a big boost. I mean, that's huge. A lot of people, I think, are still trying to grasp how cosmic rust works. You know, they don't realize that it affects all elemental damages, not just one or two. So you could bring in a cryo, electric, fire, and acid bots and have somebody that's got the cosmic rust blaster on it, and you're going to get that cosmic rust boost off of all of those elemental damages in one team, and that can make a big difference. You know, so I mean, a lot of people, they focus on the one or two elements, acid or fire, and then are like, why isn't the cosmic rust blaster doing any good? Because you're only using it on two elements. Use it on all of them. It can enhance them all. uh and yeah, Phoenix has kind of got a good point here. It is just trying to find the right squad and bots to team with, and it's all synergy. I've mentioned that in my composition destruction squad building tips video. It you can have a bunch of low level bots, but as long as they all synergize together, and I've showed that on numerous videos throughout my channel, um, you can clear bases that are way above that squad's pay grade and still come out triumphant. And a lot of people don't take that into account. They just want power, they want elemental hit, they want damage. But and a lot of people still aren't synergizing with their bots, in terms of the damage types and how the bots can play off one another and how the combats can play off of one another either. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Let's see. And Dive Freesius comes up with Dive Bomb is a good outpost popper, but not necessarily exclusive to SAC. That's exactly what I'm saying. She doesn't have to be a SAC bot. You can use her as a blitz bot. You can use her as an outpost popper. You can use her as a base clearer. She's one of those versatile bots that you can do a lot with, but a lot of people only stick with one thing. Their one track strategy minds kind of hurt them, and they don't realize it. And Freesius and a lot of you other guys in here all know that when you try to tell somebody something else of, hey, stop using that bot this way, try using the bot this way, they just can't accept that other usage. It's this bot does this and that's it, and it's kind of frustrating. And I know Cheeto has recommended to a lot of people too. Hey, swap out how you use this bot. Use it this way or use it this way. I've seen Cheeto offer a lot of advice that way too. Excuse me, guys. Blade 19 says he uses Gator Face on gunners. Yeah, I actually have Gator Face on my Octo Punch. Because why not have an electric sniper? I like Gator Face on my Octopunch. Uh, Plus that it's just fun to watch the electric come through, clear out some of the base, stun some of the bots, and then when he transforms back, snipes them down while they're still stunned. It's a fun little combo. I do that way. Um, and Phoenix says he pairs Dive Bomb with Lugnut sometimes. They do work good as a team. Yeah, they can. They do. Especially with Lugnut's electric stun damage. Yeah, not a bad set over there that at all. Um, okay, I knew Megatron was going to bring this up. The Rust Dust or the Rust Blaster. Sorry, it is great, and but I think the fact that a lot of people still continue just to focus on one or two elemental damages on a team, and it's either fire or it's acid. They're not exploring cryo and electric either. Um, that people don't realize you can add all of those to a team, plus the Cosmic Rust Blaster, plus something else, and you can really change the tide in your battles. You really can. And it's not just about the combats that are involved. It's also, like you said, the Cosmic Rust Blaster can work that way too. Cheeto's offering up. Has Fracas on Wild Rider, Sinjin on SG Thundercracker, and Heartburn on Scavenger, so they all have healing. Interesting combo. I've really found that I don't need a healing combat on my SG Thundercracker. He lives pretty long without a healing bot, but I get where you're going with that. So that's not a bad setup or a bad build out either, Cheeto. That's a really good one. And yeah, like Rushy's saying, you can also put top heavy on Rotor Storm. Yeah, see that's a great. This is a great topic for the stream, guys. Just to let you know, I appreciate because we've hit a lot of things we haven't really talked about combats. So yeah, I mean, there's some great combats here that you can apply to a number of bots. And as most of you know, there's only a couple. I think it's Skyboom and Rat Bat slash Sundoor that have one of the largest equipability and compatibilities for combats. Sundoor and Rat Bat go on anybody, and Skyboom is near that. I think he hits almost every warrior and every gunner, so or melee bot. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, like you want combats that emphasize not only what you've got on your bot, but also on your team. And a lot of people stay with that super singular focus of just this is this bot, this is this bot, this is this bot, and they don't tie them together to work together. So yeah, I think that's a really good point that everybody's been bringing up, and I appreciate that gear change in the stream. See that was a great one to add, guys. So thank you all for contributing to that. I really appreciate that. Um, and gonna continue looking through the chat real quick. Yeah. Yeah. Megatron Patrick Bateman says, SG Thundercracker is a really fat jet, really high stats all around. He is. He's definitely one of the higher tier level air class bots, But uh I wouldn't discount some of the legacy ones either. Skywarp is still a viable bot. Starscream and Firefly and Blastoff are all still viable air class despite their age in the game. People are like, oh, that's an old bot. I want to use a new one, and it's just like, yeah, but there are minor improvements with the new bots, but at least with some of the older ones, they're tried true, and at higher levels, they can one shot most of the defenses out there. So, I would say don't discount the old bots. They may be old, but they're not obsolete. Yeah, and oh, Blade 19's got a good take on here. The only reason why I don't use all the elements is I know I'm gonna have to take out a lot more build bots. Yeah, I can understand that point of view, Blade, but not everybody has a build pot that is taking out all the element damages. I've seen them where they're strictly still anti acid zone, anti fire zone. I have seen a couple of anti electric, but not too much. You know, and even if you do run across those with an all with a mixed elemental team, you especially if they're anti fire or anti acid, your electric and cryo guys will take those out for you with, and they won't be affected by those build bots or those cores. So I mean that's a good it's a good point of view there, but I would kind of have to slightly disagree with you. I'm not saying that it's not a bad point to make, not at all. I would not fully agree with you on that because I have run into a couple of bases that do have uh, all four of the elemental cores, so but at the same time, that's where like some gunners like my Octo Punch and stuff, they'll come in and my Breakneck, and they'll come in, snipe out those cores, and as soon as they're clear, I'll use them. I'll use my elemental bots to help clear out those bases. But guys, this has been a wonderful session today. So thank you all for your contributions, your feedback. And all of your ideas and discussion topics. This was terrific. And thank you, Freeze, for backing me up there. I just tend to look at it strategically rather than worry about how this is going to affect my squad. I am like, okay, this is where I need to target it first. No big deal. But yeah, we're about broaching up on that hour's time for my stream. I like to keep it about 60 minutes, as you guys know. Uh, and last week we ran over about half an hour, so it was all good. Um, and and yeah, see, Cheeto even says he runs with a mixed elemental team. You don't want to always just run acid and fire or all cryo and electric. I mean, a couple of streams ago, we were mixing up the elements. We were doing cryo and acid, and we were doing electric and fire. And I mean, I know that those elements and those capacities don't synergize, but they were doing some damage on the bases, and and yeah. So I mean, keep experimenting, keep playing around, and keep up the good work and the heroic nonsense, my friends. Thank you for joining this weekend stream. Have a good event, and we'll just keep up and keep on trucking, and I'll keep refining my channel and my videos. So everybody have a good weekend and keep up the heroic nonsense.